start. Can you all see this one hoof now, or do you see the overview of all the hoofs?
The overview, we see the overview.
Why? Okay.
Sabine, but you know how you want to go through it. You want to backwards or forward. You can.
No,
but
I mean, we start with where we came, and then
okay.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Okay. This is where we started in February this year, only this year.
Wow.
This year.
Yeah.
This is where we started when I get the alert call from Sabine after she saw these pictures, and tells me we have to talk. No time for wasting, or no time wasting right now. We have to talk right now. And I said, okay, let's talk. And then the journey is starting.
And just as a small introduction, Simone is living in Bavaria, South Germany, and I'm living in Hungary right now. So we know each other from 8 years or 6 years ago, and we stayed in contact through Facebook. Whatever. We stayed in contact, and then Simone showed me the pictures when she saw that I'm actively doing something with my horse. Yeah, and we started talking, and then she started trimming.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so I will switch. I mean, you see, shall we explain what you see? Told you he had this forever, kind of, Simone, or what is the story?
Yeah, the story was I got him in 2019, and he's coming with the irons on, and I'm not allowed to have him on irons on that stable where the horse is right now, so I have to do it off, and I want to do it off, and I asked the girl who's the owner before Dodo was my horse, and she says, oh, he has it all the time, and the farrier says it never grows together, so I don't know. But he came with also very bad hoofs, include the irons on. I have photos of that, but we didn't have them yet.
Yeah, so I will see if I can switch on, because we have that's the sole view, and I think that was right after the trim. You see the rasping here, and
after
how she trimmed the frog. That was your barefoot trimmer, right? And I asked you to take a picture. Yeah. And here you can see that trimming the heel down to the widest part of the frog is going on. And I mean, leaving the leverage here, keeping the toe short, that's what we all saw. And then the frog is kind of, I mean, not alive, and that's all. It looks for me like someone has no clue where to put the knife, and right?
Yeah, and look at the bar, how the bar's all funky.
Yeah, and they are not cleaned out, and even the frog, I mean, to keep this like spread and wide, and the dirt, you know, the exit is not cleaned, and so that's where we started. This is the other hoof, and you can see here they try to fix the cracking with doing these short cuts into the horizontal to try. I mean, if the force in the hoof capsule is too much and they are cracking, you should think why this is happening, and not just trying to break the symptoms, right?
Right. Yeah.
So this is, it hurts. It hurts us.
With the big crack too.
Yeah. So when we see these pictures, oh my gosh! I mean, the heart is bleeding. Yeah. So
I mean, that foot is almost completely collapsed.
Yeah.
Forward. You know, the hoof caps, the tubules growing horizontal instead of vertical.
And absolutely. And the interesting thing is, if you look closely, I mean, if you just see the heights here, right?
Yeah.
It looks like there's no heel, but the heel is actually growing from there all the way to the front, here to the front.
Isn't that something? Wow.
Yes. I mean, that's And it took us some time. I mean, you look at the hoof and there's not much to see, right? But still, we only figured this out after like watching the picture hundreds of times. And then, oh my gosh, this is, it's there. The heel is there, but it's running all the way forward. So I hope, you know, I put some pictures in the folder and I will go through it because I don't see the overview now. Sometimes it could be that the, you know, the OneDrive is just mixing up the dates. So I hope, okay, this was after the first trim. Somehow I ended up a week later, somehow at Simone's place. So we decided to take our holidays at her place. And so I did the first trim, the initial trim, and that's where Simone started to do it on her own. Yeah.
Looks great.
That's, I mean,
you know, what do? What you have to work with, you know, and Steph, you did a great first trim.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
at least you can see there's heel distance now. Yeah. You've kind of formed a foot there.
And everything I did was taking the leverage on the side away and cleaning the seed of corn. Right. So let's see what kind of pictures I do have also. I mean, it gets really, really interesting later the year. So there's more to come.
My horse has a crack in the exact same spot. Exact.
Yeah. And we were wondering if this is because of the coffin bone might have a crack there.
No, it's because all these horn tubules from the side are pushing forward, and then they got right there, and the ones in front of them said, we're not going anywhere, and so it cracked.
Yeah, and we have some great pictures coming up. So, but I, you know, just wait for it.
Okay.
So this is trying, you know, if you have the frog, kind of, I mean, you can't just do too much.
Yeah.
And the sole, you saw, I mean, there was no sole. He had like nearly no hoof, right? So he had to be careful, and you could see the bleedings in here. So we didn't touch it over there in the beginning, and try to clean out and open the heel. This is still the old trim, but this one. So that's the first. The shape is a little bit like longer, not round, but you know, we are getting there. That was like step by step. This is already then in May. How it looks there. He started to shoot the toe out. To the front, and so the next picture you will see he had what is the word? A burst out? No, a blow.
Abscess?
An abscess, yeah. And just later when we went through the pictures again, you could already see it on here.
Okay.
And I think it was where the wet time started, right, Simone?
Yeah.
That makes sense because everything starts moving when it's wet.
Yeah, and it was just wet. A lot of rain. I think it rained the whole year, kind of.
No.
We're
not an island.
Yeah. So this is just to show what is now cancel download. No. Okay, yeah, and here we have the abscess, and then the really interesting part started. I think Simone, you can take over.
Okay, yeah. So you see that yellow periople. It goes yellow because the vet told me I have to put the medicine on to
Furosin. Furosin is yellow like that.
Yeah. And to get the abscess out. And after I do that 4 days, and I told him about the trimming, and he's very interesting at it. When after 4 days, I saw on the back on the bulbs. Right now you can't see it on the pictures. But there's the abscess is growing down more and more. And this is, remember, this is in May. Right now we have September and it's all growing out. You can't see anything about that abscess right now. So everything goes very, very soft and very good moisture. So yeah, the heels, the bulbs are blown out. So
you had a blowout.
Yeah, I had a blowout. It scares me in the first time so much that I have visions on my own to put him down and something like that. And okay,
you walk out of the hoof wall.
Yeah, there's no other option to get another farrier or something like that. I have to go through it, and Dodo has to go through it too. But he made it very good. We have 1 day, or no, 2 days, where he's hurt a little, but right now he made it totally tough. Maybe I have right now the 6th, or yeah, 6, 3 on both feet, blowout, where the cartilage is more growing faster than the capsule. Yeah. And I have to fix it with moisture. You know, we talked already in the other group, to fix it with moisture and a bandage and then a good hoof shoe. And
you have some pictures you can put up there of that while she's talking about this?
Yes. I just wanted to quickly, before we go into this process, just quickly to say what we did till here. So the routine of trimming was, I would say, like once a week, just a little, you know, not too much at one time, but Simone went there, I think, like every day she picked one hoof, and then the other week again.
That's great, Simone.
And the interesting part is, I think the often you go and trim, the faster the hoof grows. It's like pretending he's walking the whole day, or he's just, you know, taking off the horn capsule on his own, and then the brain is telling you, oh, we need to get new hoof. So if you don't have time for trimming or whatever, then you should stop, I think, early enough with trimming a lot of times, because the hoof might adjust. That's because it's unbelievable. What other horses are doing within 1 year, he did within 6 months.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and you see the difference between the capsules growing. They are more growing vertical and not horizontal.
Yeah.
You can see the difference. Yeah, you can see the difference right now here, and also the height from the bottom to the hairline up there. This is
much straighter.
But still, So here, I think, Linda, you would like this picture, right? If you look at this picture.
That's a very good picture, huh?
Yeah. What we figured out that his frog was just layers of bullshit.
Periople.
and
periople.
And it's at the moment, it's already, was heißt immer noch? Almost.
Wow.
It's almost periople that I trimmed off, almost.
Yeah, it's like a combination of periople and frog, kind of like it's merged almost.
But we were wondering why our knives didn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, we tried different techniques to sharpen the knives, and now I trim with the knife all the time, and I don't need to sharpen it anymore, because now we have frog.
And that's something.
Now we're cutting through frog and not through periople.
Wow.
That's a huge difference.
Yeah.
And it smells differently.
Yeah,
right?
Totally different.
Yeah, so I will go through some yeah.
Look at that. That's amazing. Yeah, you're probably freaking out looking at that. Oh my goodness.
No,
I'm totally freaking out.
I mean, because that happened similar to my horse. You know, I was working on the back of that foot, and all of a sudden it just like blew apart, you know, but it wasn't quite the same as this, but it was the same you know,
Yeah,
basic
but look at
deal.
this piece of periople here.
Wow.
It's
So
yeah,
thick.
but it's getting, I mean, I have more pictures. I
Okay.
mean, and you see here he started to blew out. So yeah, just from a different angle. Oh, that's kind of the way Simone handled. So
We're bandaging the horse feet.
yeah,
So you can call me prof right now.
just to keep the hooves safe and without bacteria, but still in a wet environment. So he never had a dry hoof during this.
Can I ask the question?
Sure.
How often you had to change it, the bandages?
The first time I changed it daily till
I think 6 weeks.
Till July.
Oh wow.
I change it daily, and after that I'm trying to change it every 3 days. And right now I'm with 5 days.
So
Yeah.
Linda?
Yeah.
I always wanted to ask you, with this hoof on the left side, you could see from the beginning kind of that his hairs are standing up. So is this a cause because the inside, the coffin bone might be, you know, somehow not in the right place, or have you seen this before?
Yeah, I have. And what it is the foot. So you got to remember, it's not just coffin bone, it's a whole foot you have in there. And so whenever the back of the foot is pulled under like that, well, it's displaced. So there's stuff that was in front of that. So it's pushing up on the coffin bone. But what it does is, because that coffin bone is on a joint, it makes it rotate down. Like, can I, just a minute here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's like to this direction. If the
so see, it's twisted up here by the coronary band. There's force pushing it down this way, while the hoof capsule is being pushed one way. The inner toe is being pushed the other way. They're being pushed in opposite directions.
So the coffin bone might be in a good position, but you can see that the toe is way too flat and forward, right?
Well, the toe here is the capsule.
Yes, see? I mean the capsule, yes. Yeah,
okay, I got to keep bringing it back. Yeah, it is the coffin bone, but it's the foot. See, the foot bends in the inner foot, which is, you know, covered with skin. It's got that coffin bone in it and the digital cushion, collateral cartilage, and then it's covered with skin, which that lamina and the sulcorium and the coronary band, that's all like kind of skin. And like, I have a foot right here, and I left the hide on the leg above the hairline, but I took the hoof capsule off and I put it in salt and borax, and the whole thing turned into rawhide. So that tells me that what's underneath here is a foot, and it's got skin on it. And like the skin on the leg, it grows hair, right? Well, the skin on the foot grows all the different parts of the hoof capsule. So when you are thinking of anything going on inside this capsule, you have to think of it as a whole foot, not just a coffin bone.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you won't understand why it's doing what it's doing.
Yes.
Because that whole foot, it's all connected together. So if one part moves, another part moves. You know, if I just have like a flexible plastic ruler and I bend both sides down, something's going to happen to the center. It's going to loop and bend, right? And so that's what you have going on here with trimming out the heels.
Yeah.
Okay. The inner foot, the foot that's in here is a specific size. And so that capsule has to be the same size and shape as that foot. And so when it's not done right, okay, look, it's pulled the inner foot that you can't see right here. You can only see the top part above the hairline. It's pulled it under and forward.
Yeah, and you see.
Yeah,
Yes.
pushed up
Yeah,
the
and you see
center.
it's a little bit hollow here.
Yep,
So,
yep, yeah,
right?
exactly, yes.
And just later on, when we go on with the pictures, you see how you can see how small the capsule is compared to how the hoof looks now. But
Yeah.
let's see what happens. So this, yeah, here you can really nicely see how the hairs are bending up.
Yeah.
This is the awful crack, yeah. And so let's see. That's how the sole looked like, still more long than round. But you know,
Which is good.
Yeah, and we were on the phone and drawing pictures or lines in the pictures, trying to communicate. And
well, you guys did a good job together.
yeah, and Simone learned on the way, right? I mean,
yeah, you're learning at the same time.
Yeah, and sometimes I said, okay, just a little bit more, because it's better to take less in the beginning and go back after a day. And it's also amazing if you take pictures. If you watch, if you go back and see the pictures, like sitting at home, the stress is off, and then you suddenly realize, oh shit, I forgot the left bit of corn or something, right? Or there's a little bump. So I was always the one with the rising finger.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm blind.
then the left side started also to get abscesses, and I mean the whole hairline blew out.
Wow,
We will have some more. Now you can see the frog widened. It's stronger.
Looking good, actually.
Right? Yeah. So it's unfolding.
And
It's coming
shorter.
really from the inside out. It's
And
we
shorter.
trimmed, yeah, and Simone trimmed the frog like every time.
But a little bit, just in micromillimeters.
Yeah.
Look at that. You're getting a sole ridge there too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now even this part looks, kind of clean, and because it was so thin, we couldn't touch it, even though it looked ugly. It should have.
Yeah.
And I mean, we all know the pictures where you're showing if the bars are overlaid on the sole can't grow, and the laminate underneath, is compressed and all this.
Yeah.
But with his hooves, oh my gosh, I didn't want to touch it here, and even there was always a little spot. But I think by this time Simone started to take back the apex.
Good.
So that we were also on this one.
Oh, look there.
So yeah,
looking so much better already.
Oh.
Yeah, wait for it. Let's see, there should be
Okay, the blowout started.
Yeah,
that would be scary.
Yeah.
But
I'm totally freaking out. I'm so scared.
and
don't
you
blame
see
you.
even the coronate band here, it looks, oh my gosh, I mean,
yeah, that's scary too when you see that.
yeah, it doesn't look healthy. So I have some more. Oh yeah, now the pictures are coming. You can see here the separation the whole way.
Yeah.
That's the point where Simone said, look, this part which is growing back, this is actual hoof wall. This here is.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's baby hoof wall.
So I'm so happy with that. I'm knocked on it and I'm hearing, okay, it's hard. It's not cartilage. It's not soft. Oh, it's hoof. I'm so happy.
How cool is that?
And it's connected here, and it's connected over there.
Yeah.
That
How
was such
cool is that?
Yeah. So let's see. I think it's getting good. So
wow.
The first day is coming up.
Yeah.
You see?
Here.
Yeah.
Maybe one picture back.
Oh, yeah, and this
The
part.
first day is coming up and give support.
Yeah. Pushing the back up there.
Yeah. And before it was down underneath.
On the ground.
Yeah,
on the
look,
ground,
his bulbs are actually up in back now.
Yeah,
instead
they
of
are.
underneath. It's looking good.
Let me, yeah, you can see, this is so interesting. You see the hairline, kind of how straight it is?
Yeah.
And he
Oh,
just
yeah.
detached from the old hoof.
Yeah.
Capsule.
How interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, Dodo's a bright guy.
Yeah,
He knows to get
totally
rid of
great.
the old bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Wow.
Yeah, and then on this side, the same story. That he
Yeah.
threw off
He
the
changes
old.
weekly.
Yeah, that's like
Every
he's
week he changed the feed. So on the left side you see the black sock.
yeah.
That's that's how I try to keep it clean. Underneath is duct tape and bandage because my horses live on the mud and on the trail and can go out every time they like to.
Uh-huh.
So and I have a lot of mud and how to keep it clean. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I have to, Sabine and I have to develop some perfect shoes for mud.
Hey, I know how it is. I use socks. I buy socks just to put on my horse.
Yes.
They work good.
Yeah, they work.
And
Because the very small parts of the mud, they don't go inside.
Yeah.
And it's just wet. It's not, and you see how clean the hoofs are after I unwrap it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
and this is scary.
It is, but it is. I mean, it for you guys now, if you run into this again, it's not going to be scary like it was because you're going to know what was going on.
Yeah, yeah. For me, it's not scary anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it may look bad, but there's so many good things happening.
And
here.
look at the frog here.
Oh my goodness.
That's the time, I think kind of around when you started the periople group, that we also, try to take off a little bit more, like try to bring the periople backwards.
Yeah.
Because it should be only down here and not into and cover the frog, right? That doesn't belong there. So Simone trimmed the frog and tried to clean out the frog stay. And that's, just wonderful to see. Oh, yeah. This is already, okay. I thought, maybe there will come a picture which goes backward in time. So I just can't, because we had a picture just lately. I think this is in August, right, Simone?
Yeah, after our vacation.
Let me just see if I can find another. That's already in September.
Then you got some hoof socks, those hoof sock thingies, that thing there.
This one,
this is very good. This is woof wear, a medical hoof shoe.
Okay, and they're good.
Yeah, they're pretty good because the rolling point on the
toe,
toe. The rolling point on the toe, there's like none rolling point. So no mechanical influence. Yeah. So it's like a natural Gummistiefel.
looking for that word.
Rainbows.
Rainbows. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
But rainbows are normally too wide.
Something like that.
That's like,
yeah, but it's very it's like a neoprene
That's
cover.
great. I've been wondering how those work. They look pretty good.
So I'm just scrolling through the pictures because why Simone put these support under. I mean, you can see it a little bit from here.
Yeah.
So he grew. This is all the way like new wall within. Now it's September, and the other one was July. 2 months.
That's great. Yeah.
In 2 months.
The first line is where we started.
Yeah.
In May. What? Oh, the first line is.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is the old shoe.
Yes, the old shoe when he had his blowout.
It's close to open up. It's very close to open it.
Yeah, that was kind of in May. So we were worried that this part here will come out, like run forward.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why Simone placed these support system under the hoof. And within, I will look for the pictures. This is, I think,
that's
after.
Pretty good.
So he lifted, I think I also have an before and after picture. So it really, it did such an amazing job, because it just somehow, it lifted his hind capsule, the caudal hoof, lifted it up. That was amazing.
Well,
and the whole hoof.
Let me just say something about that.
Yes.
Everything in these feet want to go where they're supposed to.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So if we, when we're trimming and whatever we're doing, if we just do something that will allow it to do that, it will pull stuff back into place, because it's under constant pressure in there, because it has been contorted into something it should not be to begin with. So if we learn how to trim and help give it aid, like what you did with the support, the foot will start pulling back into shape.
Yeah. And I would like, before we skip this one, it's so interesting. Can I zoom in? Oh, yes. So this is the crack. And when we took care of the toe, I mean, you can see now, okay, the wall, he's detoxing his body and everything. It's a lot going on. So the hoof wall is not nice. Even this one doesn't look nice, but it's just kept wet for months now.
Yeah.
So we have to keep this in mind.
Yeah.
And the crack, actually, it's not going all the way into the hoof. It's a little bit from the capsule, and even now it looks better. And
that's great.
Yeah, it's getting better. Huh?
That crack would never close.
It's closed on the conveyor band.
Yeah, and here it's closed. When we started, the coronary band on the right side was a little bit higher than on the left side. So it was pushed upward and started here, going around. And now it's like one level. Still, I mean, still you can see, and this is not because of the angle of the photo of the picture, but it's going a little bit upward, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we try to trim this part here a little bit more, so this part can come down. But still, he's changing so fast and so much that you have to do baby steps, and that's where we are with the crack. So,
that's awesome.
And now look at this gap here.
Wow. See that looks great to me. You know,
he's still working, processing, right?
Yeah, and look how much his heels are under him now, to where before they were clear down at the toe.
Yeah, he's really standing on his heels now. So
how does he feel now? Is he feeling better yet, or is he still walking funky?
Yeah, no, he's walking very well, and I guess he's feeling very good.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, this looks a little bit, out of place somehow with all these bulbs and everything going on. But if you just look at the hairline, and then the
step by step it goes wider.
Yeah.
That's what I meant the last time when we talked, the little gaps, all the lines.
Oh yes, from here
step by step it goes a little bit wider. That's what I meant. What is happened? I guess this is not laminated. I guess this is how it happens when the next blow up comes and the capsule is growing, and then the first time the capsule on the back, where the mouse point is very soft. So, and all the weight from the horse goes on that and forms the capsule. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And then the lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. 6 blowouts. Is because of the blowout from the bulbs. That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, every time they're coming a little bit higher, and because you see, Linda, here this gap from if you follow the line, right, you're ending up here, and you have a smaller wall than compared to the back. So it means kind of he grew faster in the back than he grew here.
Yeah, he did.
But
Right,
he but he has the wrong direction of the old capsule. That's what I meant also. The old capsule you see on the first line. This is the old capsule with the wrong direction. Huh?
Yeah, it's longer. You see here, it's longer and it's really short here.
Okay.
Yeah, the other way.
So you're growing the old one off and the new one on. Yeah, so you got to keep the toe like back, and as you're trimming it off as the new one's coming on.
And I thought I wanted to ask you, Linda, and what you think. So this is a little bit too high, I think 5 centimeters now. But he within a week with the support system, he just, I don't know where he got the soul and all this material here from. It was amazing to watch the last weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure, but it looks a little bit too long for me. If you should take maybe a little bit more, I think Simone, the hoof is growing faster than what she takes. Or should we just keep and be happy with more hoof right now?
I would be happy with more hoof for this reason. If you look at the horn tubule, that stripe right in the center.
Yeah.
Okay. It's longer than the toe.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you take some heel down, it's going to set that stripe, those tubules forward.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would keep him high elevated for now. Maybe while you're growing that off.
Yeah.
And you may find that that's what his foot really is too. He may grow in a really steep dorsal wall in the end. And, some of these, what kind of horse is this?
It's a Bavarian
warm blood.
Warm blood, yeah.
Okay, well, you may find that he has a really steep dorsal wall, and like how big is he?
I just can't tell you in centimeters. He's 162 centimeters.
Well, it's like here they go 15, 16, 17 hands.
He's a dressage horse.
So he's big.
Not a really tall one, but already, yes.
Okay.
You need something to step on. You can't just jump.
Okay. He might wind up having really steep hooves. That might be his true foot. We're just not used to seeing that on these horses. And so, because see, his cartilages are still bound here, the way they're rounded.
Yeah.
Okay. So as this gets corrected, and in the future, you'll wind up totally unbinding them, and you'll find out that the back of his foot is probably going to be massive, and he's probably going to and he's probably going to have a very steep, short, maybe not, short. I don't mean short necessarily from hairline to the ground.
I know his grandfather, and the grandfather is still alive. I can look at it because he's a very high dressage horse, something like that, on a very good bloodline, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
I don't care about that. But I can have a look at his grandfather and his father, how the
feet look,
how steep.
Doesn't mean they are right.
Yeah, and I mean, some of it depends on how he's been being trimmed and shod. Maybe if an old school person has been doing it, they give him more heel and stuff like that, But
this is unsharp. I'm sorry for that.
Oh, that's okay.
We are learning, right?
Yeah, we are all learning.
I need new glasses.
Nobody's done this stuff before, because it's almost it's almost as if that part of the foot doesn't exist.
And look at this frog now. I mean,
wow, look at that.
Beautiful frog.
Yeah.
And there's periople almost. The black stuff down there, where the mouse point is.
That's frog.
This is periople. Just maybe from the apex, the first. Yeah, this is true frog. And the white here, the white on the left side and on the right side, this is also true frog. And the rest is periople. And the hoof, I told you, the hoof is 24/7 in hoof shoes, bandaged to keep it clean, to keep it safe, etc. And I have 5 minutes to trim, or 10 maybe, and then the periople is so damn hard, I can't cut it.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Yeah, and the hoof is also totally hard and strong, and I'm so happy with that hoof.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I think look at the shape. It looks way better now.
Yeah.
Still, I think he has more pressure on this side. That's why he's, you know, might be thicker and more thinner on this side. But yeah, and I mean, we see that still the heels are not really there. It's fake heel.
Yeah.
But that's what we did, like cleaning out the seed of corn all the way.
And try to give it back.
Yeah, but without taking heel, right?
Yeah.
Just a millimeter. So we got some depth in here from the groove all the way there, and trying to keep the bar, you know, away from the apex. And
have you been mapping the bars the new way I started mapping the bars, or the old way?
No, we followed the cracks actually.
Okay.
You know, they were just visible, and we left them. Or Simone, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Keep on talking.
Yeah. You know, lowering to the sole level. And then he had really a huge crack on both sides. And you can even see it here a little bit.
Yeah.
So I would have taken this till here, like gone. This part also. Well, but that he showed us where to stop and where to go.
It's looking good though.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you look at some of these trims, it's like they never touch the sole, and they're just all congested and you know, full of dead, nasty stuff. And you know, this looks real clean. You're keeping it just right, I think.
Yeah, I took the I call it chalk sole. Because so
chalk sole, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because you see the difference between the very yellow part and then the white part.
Yeah.
No, yeah, the white part. This is a crack or chalk, something like that. And I very soft. I take it off because he runs all the time in hoof shoes, and there's no chance to take it off by himself. So
yeah,
I take it off, and the hoof wall, the sole is growing very good. You see that go in front to the apex. You see that small black point?
Yeah.
There was the old apex.
Yeah.
And the big black crack, more this was the black crack that we saw on the first pictures. So you see how the sole is growing and all the foot is coming back.
Yeah. Whole frog moving back.
Yeah, this is totally interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all that gets shoved forward, and since it's all covered with skin, okay, you know how when if I push up on one part of my skin, it moves the other part, right?
Yeah.
You know, and stuff. So you imagine you got your frog corium, which is on a frog pushing way forward, shoved forward, and it's pushing into the sole corium. And so what happens is when that frog starts moving back, and that skin has to move back too of the frog underneath, like what you're seeing here, that pink right there at the bottom of the bulb, where you got the frog, the end of the frog ends, and then there's that pink up here, right there. Yeah. That's your bulbs.
Yeah.
Right there. That's where your little frog lip things are, right there, that grow that. All that moves back, moves the sole corium back, and then the sole can start growing better.
Yeah.
And it'll get thicker and harder.
Linda, do you think all that white stuff and all that, I can take this off?
Yeah, I would say you could take, well, see.
But slowly.
It's probably growing another one underneath.
Yeah, you can, yes, definitely.
See, including all this between the bulbs here.
He's very sensitive on that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I would leave it for just support and you know, a little bit of, till the other one is grown better and stronger.
Yeah. I take it off slowly, very slowly.
Yeah, and eventually, see what I've done is I kept, of course, my horse he didn't tear out like yours did, you know, and stuff. So I didn't have that to deal with, because she kind of had, you know, I'd already been trying to restore his heels for a long time, so he had a pretty good foot form, you know what I mean? But I saw where he was bound up in the frog, and it was preventing his foot from expanding and from the heels coming back the way I wanted. And what would happen is in the wet season, oh man, things would swell up just like this, you know, and I'd think, wow, we're really getting somewhere. And then when it dried out, it just all sucked back down again. You know, and I'm like, what happened to my foot that was doing so well? Well, it was that periople doing that, because that stuff swells up poof, when it gets wet, and it shrinks back down when it gets dry. And so I didn't have a real frog either. And so I started really removing this, and I got so that I would get down to like virgin frog. You know, I got one picture, because like I'm working on my pony now, because she's been the one that was chronic. I trimmed into chronic hoof distortion and have never been able to fully fix her. But now that I understand this more, releasing these frogs, her whole hairline's coming up like it never did before. All the cartilage in the back of the foot and everything is totally changing. And I did this on my gilding too. Started taking off a lot of frog, and especially between the bulbs here. Yeah. And the whole back of the foot started moving back. And like you were saying, new hoof buttress basically growing back here. Oh yes, that's what I'm
asking.
That's awesome.
Look, is that what that is?
That would be my next question. Is that
can I?
Go ahead.
Sorry, I interrupted. I just want to say something to remove what Linda is just saying, removing. I did it with a grinder, thinning it out, not completely removing.
Yeah.
Just with a grinder, like or with a rasp, with a soft side. It's like a compromise thing, you know. It's not removing completely, so you leave, but it's thinned out, and that works a lot, especially when the hoof stays in a, let's say, kind of moist condition. So the rest is doing the hoof itself. Then it's a kind of release, but not a complete release, because for my experience level, it's very a touchy thing to cut off that sensitive. It's looks hard, but what's beneath could be very sensitive. So I made a deal with myself. So I just was rasping with a grinder, as Dremel, with a small Dremel. I was thinning out all that area, so it gets more flexible. So it could do its work, you know. Yeah, it's just my experience. So
well, that's interesting. Because we really haven't communicated that much on stuff for a little while here. And that's exactly what I've been doing too. See? And stuff.
And you see that little scratches on the frog?
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing also with the rasp. Thank you.
Good.
With the rasp.
Here.
I'm more, I do it all the time with the rest, but the old periople is so damn thick and
Oh,
so
man.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then do more. Rest more.
Yeah, but he's so sensitive right now. I mean, he's talking to you and like saying,
Yeah.
oh. He's
Yeah.
saying all the time, like, I'm in pain. Oh, ow.
Oh, poor baby.
Yeah.
He's really talking.
He
Yeah.
might have some infections underneath you don't see by now. Yeah, I have a couple of horses here, and so I know in between. You don't see it. It looks very healthy from top view, but underneath you don't know what's going on. So it could be that he's very touchy. You can test by pressing with your thumb, and you see where he's going to be sensitive. That's going to be the area you leave alone.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm touch it with my thumb and try to figure out, okay, what is your sensitive part, or what is your touchiest part? Okay, I go with that, I leave it, and the other parts I really cut. So
Simone?
yeah.
So one question, this on the right part, that's hoof wall, right?
Yeah, that's hoof wall. That's hard, yeah.
Yeah, so he's growing a new, way back late tractor. Now I'm missing the heel.
Heel buttress.
Yeah,
well,
right?
I hope it's the heel buttress because it has another texture than the others. And the other hoof capsule, it has a little bit other textures. Textures, yes.
It could be periople too.
No, it's not periople,
It's
Linda.
not. Oh, okay.
No,
Well,
I hate periople. I don't like periople anymore.
I don't like periople, but you know the interesting thing about periople is that holds on to that hoof capsule while it's trying to grow off. After it's been trimmed wrong, that periople goes to work to bind everything together to try and keep the hoof capsule together. Because see, the periople is only supposed to be a crown around the top of the foot and along the back of the bulbs. It is not supposed to be under the foot, like at all.
Yeah, like this. And you can see the texture it's just the same, right? And because of the moisture, now the periople is white. Normally, you can't really tell. But if you moisture your hoof, then you can really see, and it's so visible that the periople comes from the side and it goes all the way underneath. For those, like the heels are trimmed out, right? And covering like this area. So and you mean, I mean the part which is a little bit red down here, that's where the mouse is right now, that should be only here should be periople around the hoof, just maybe a little bit more, but that's all.
It'll cover up the back of the frog stay as well. And here's the thing, a lot of times when we were looking at what should have been frog stay, it was periople. It was a big wad of periople in there.
Yeah.
You know.
But you can, I guess you can see it's periople or it's a real frog stay because the periople has a lot of gaps. It's like an onion. It's like it's like an onion.
Yeah, well, what's happened here is
many layers.
And also what's happened here, like looking at the back of this foot, what has happened is the foot started to grow periople and then the foot expanded and it pushed away from what it started to grow like several times here. So you can see different lines of it there, like 3 different places.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Sam?
Yes, over here, right?
Yeah.
Hey, can I ask a question? Sorry. That's the medial side. Well, I cannot show. Yeah, to the right. The medial side where the heel, well, the so-called heel is that still periople? Right there where you've been with the cursor. Yeah, is this still periople, or because I cannot figure it out on the picture. Yes. Ja, ist es genau, jetzt muss ich bei mir wieder kleiner machen.
No, this is a capsule because I tried to clean all that periople from this side.
Aha, okay.
This is hoof. This is capsule.
Hoof.
Okay, like I showed a picture of that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I showed a picture of that on a post I did recently of the back of my horse's foot, where you could see these two chunks of heel buttress new that were growing in.
And you can see here, this is periople, it ends here, and then it's like a cut into, I mean, kind of, there was a blowout, but you see, this is wall, this bump thing, that's that wall. And the periople, it's only here, it stops here. Yeah. That's the white thing over there.
Okay.
But somehow, I mean, this looks like it goes into this, but I think there's just a mix. It grew into another, or somehow this is the old one which grew or stayed there, and then the new hoof came out, right?
You see, I think all that's eventually going to come off.
Yeah.
There, and you'll have
it looks like.
Yeah. I have a picture somewhere where you see a horse that came detached from his hoof capsule like 3 or 4 times and still had them all sticking there. Like it would be like what you see here, like you got what looks like, you know, the frog up between your bulbs and then the okay, but stacked like on each other. Like, because like if this whole thing came loose and his foot came out, he'd grow another one. And then if his foot came out of that, he'd grow another one. And they didn't know to cut those extra ones off. And so he had like 3 or 4 hoof capsules stuck together, and he's growing.
Oh, wow.
You showed that at the vet when you was with Wayla there, right?
What?
That cut hoof with the 4 hoof capsules.
Oh, that was a different one. Yeah, that was a different one. But yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, that was another one too. No, this was a different one.
Oh, I see.
This is just a mark.
Well, look at that. See, that's just so much better.
Yeah, so this was I did for, you know, just for us to have the visible in front of us, that the hoof wall really went from there all the way to the front, and it was way too long, and then, you know, we shortened this one. I mean, the direction was still the same because it's only February and then end of February.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see what we still have. Oh yeah, that's like the beginning and the end.
My goodness.
Comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, I think he should stop with all these, you know,
the rings
blowouts and abscesses.
Yeah, he will.
It would be nice if he just, you know, keeps everything together.
Yeah,
nice,
he will.
Yeah.
I think it's doing great. What a difference, huh?
Wow.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's not 3 years or whatever, it's 6 months.
Yeah, how about that? See, and I think a big key too is starting to understand this periople frog thing going on.
Yeah, this is a very big key to me.
Yeah, and the wet and keeping it wet was also a big finding.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was wet here. Like I had these boots I had on my horse trying to do the same thing, you know, only get the foot to expand and the frog placed different and everything. And the boots put a groove in the top of the coronary band.
Oh, yes.
And so,
yeah, we saw that picture. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, the good thing about it was I could chart it all growing. It grew out totally within 8 or 9 months. And see, they say it takes 12 months to grow those out.
Yeah. No.
So I know what you mean about your hoof capsule growth here has been just amazing. See?
Yeah, and what we also thought about with the crack in the front, that also the wall maybe is growing from like inside out, not only from top down, but also from the inside out.
Yeah.
Right?
I've heard that. I've heard that the lamina contributes to some of the growth, but I don't know. I haven't made up my mind totally on that yet.
Because, you know, we kept on kind of cleaning the crack, and it's filling up. I mean, it's not that we at some point reached the inner hoof.
Yeah.
Because if you take off the kind of the first layer, then you might assume that after a few times it might get thinner and thinner if it's just growing from the top down, but it's kind of filling up. And I think like the same we are doing from the sole perspective, trimming him more often in little steps to encourage, whatever, I don't know the word, to
encourage.
That's the right word.
It's really good.
Encourage him to go faster, to get some changes done. Maybe that was also the case in the crack. Also, I mean, for sure, together with the change of the hoof, right?
Yeah.
Without the change, it wouldn't be possible, but I didn't.
Yeah. And part of it, a big part is structural. See, because all those horn tubules have to be in a specific kind of alignment. And so here up in the top, you see where they're all shoving forward, right?
Yeah.
And so, like I said before, what happens is they get pushed forward until they run into one that says, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah,
and then it cracks.
Yeah, and the front goes down, and they are meeting already. If you would draw the line, they would meet here, just like 5 centimeters in front of the hoof.
Yeah.
I mean, and now you can draw the line. It goes like somewhere, and this is kind of parallel.
Yeah, pretty good, pretty darn good.
You want to hear my theory?
Okay, yes, let's hear it.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah, because I was thinking in different ways, but it could be that there was so much pressure or disconnection in the cell area, so that the cells are in itself unhealthy or non-existent any longer. So those cells, being dead cells, are not producing, they cannot do their job. That's what I can observe with my horses here. Some horses are being abused with wrong saddling and working hard their whole life. All the cells are dead. They are white. The fur always is going to be white. You have the whole face covered with it. So why should this be different? The cell function itself is destroyed by excess pressure or excess tearing apart whatsoever. Yeah. So it cannot function anymore. It's a dead cell. It's just being there where it should be, but it doesn't give the information for growth. So you might always have this kind of crack, which is not related to actual pressure in the hoof capsule when it's grown back to its, let's say, close to normal size. It's just the information it's lost. Because I was checking on Vela. Vela, he did some, you did an awesome job as expected, Linda. And he has a perfect hoof capsule by now. And still he's dealing with that crack. Well, not the deep crack we were talking about here, but I think it could be information in the cell or a dead cell. It's not providing the healthy growth of the neighbor cells.
You can see it on bones too. It's called, I just know the word in Germany. It's called Knocheninfarkt.
Infarct.
Infarct, yeah, where the cells doesn't work. That reminds me on my broken leg, because I had that on my leg, and the cells don't do their job. So that's
kind of cell collapse. Let's say.
It's like a collapse. Yeah, it's a bone collapse or something like that.
Yeah.
Do you think it could be good to give vitamin B12? Because it's for the in English.
To recovery for
recovery the nerves.
Nerves. Well, I can tell by that one horse, or I have a bunch of horses here, but related more on the body itself. Once you pass the point of no return, there is no return. It's real life.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I live with the crack, and
the rest is magic.
Collapse.
Oh, maybe it's going to work. I mean, hope dies last, immensely, but it would be, for me. To me, it's an explanation.
I'm not agreeing with this one, Caro. Because
Yeah,
I mean, in my
what?
family, my uncle, he was a doctor and he proved that one wrong. So I mean, he had proof. Unfortunately, he didn't. He's
That
not
it would
living
come
anymore, but,
back, that the cell could rejuvenate. Is that what you're saying?
you know, yeah, other cells are taking over, and so we had
Oh, okay.
scar tissue and all this. Even so bigger story, but that was I saw it with my own eyes that it's possible where
Oh,
the
yeah.
real medicine is telling us that is dead, and somehow the body can absorb that material and can replace it with and make new connections in the brain beside this one. Or so it's a lot is possible. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because we are designed to heal. So you don't know, but like on my horse, he had black hooves and gray soles. And due to the barefoot trimming and the stress that it placed on the foot, he now has multi-striped, like brown, black, and cream colored hooves in stripes, and he has white soles. So in that case,
Oh, wow.
I don't know if I'll ever get that pigment back, but that pigment is so pretty darn interesting, because if you take a black hoof capsule off and then you take a white napkin and you rub the area of the coronary band, it's like black ink coming off of there, so that, that I don't know if I'll ever get back, but I could see where on these feet, if you get everything right and opened up, because something that happens, like if the coronary, okay, like where you're growing new heel buttress, okay, that coronary band was shoved under, and then the papillae that grow the wall were covered over like grass. You know how when you cover over grass, it quits growing and stuff? So, once you get this foot completely released, it could grow, and we don't know, it could grow and fix stuff, you know what I mean? So I think it can be a combination of all these ideas that we have. That's really what I believe.
Yes. And in the end, I mean, they will show us, right? And do you see this little piece here? I didn't saw it before, but now that we talked about on the other picture on over that hoof, you can see where the wall grows down now and like back even. You see the piece here over there?
Yeah.
I think that's the one, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. Or I think so.
We need to check on it. But I mean, looks, something is going on there. So
but look at the bulbs before and after. That's I'm so happy with that. The bulbs.
They are full now.
Yeah, his cartilage. And like I said, later, once you get this hoof capsule grown out and get things stabilized, then you can work on even releasing his frog more and expanding his cartilage more.
Yeah. I think
like what I'm doing on my horse. I got him to a certain degree. I thought he was done. Come to find out, he was still very much bound up in a different way.
Yeah.
And now his foot is like totally expanding.
Yeah. So I will just be, oh, that was also interesting. That's like from the inner side, and we saw this, how it's rounded up, and also the other shape, like this one. And here I explained to Simone that if she would take a little bit more here, then it could release and give this like down. That's what I mean. I told her to, take off the toe a little bit because he's like pushing forward and running away here. Yeah. But that was the idea, and really that happened. That when she trimmed here, the hairline straightened.
Good.
Show the picture.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is. Yeah, so this one is where Simone showed me. Sabine, look, here he's growing out. This is where we had been with the old hoof.
Oh,
and then
yeah. Well, wow. Yeah. See how much the foot expanded just there.
Yeah.
Well, you've seen that picture I show of that gal, Anna. I can't remember where she's from. And the foot was contracted up to 1/3 of the size of what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
See? So it's amazing how their feet can be squashed into a little bitty capsule.
I have one more picture I would like to show because it's so interesting to see.
Okay.
Close the windows. Okay, let me quickly coming. No, wait a second. Why didn't you take my picture? Should be there in a second. So now here we go. This one.
Oh, yeah, that's
Right?
interesting. Bulb coming up out of the back there, and you can see.
Yeah, that was after the first abscess kind of healed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
But
then you could see the too small shoe.
Yeah, can I say something?
Yeah.
I don't think it's like I don't think it's as much abscess as it is the foot's expanding and separating from this too small capsule.
Yeah.
I think everybody
you know
is
what I mean?
talking about an abscess, but it might be just the foot trying to expand, and then the farrier is coming and telling the hoof, no, you are not allowed.
And they all say that. That's what they call everything like that is an abscess, you know.
Yeah.
It's the catch-all phrase, and so we do that too. We do that too. You know,
I remember, but I remember when we started having this issue, I placed pictures in the group, and I asked, why does all the horses have like the abscess kind of always on the same spot? It's always here, left or right. Like no one could answer. But if you see this now,
Linda answered because the back of the cartilage is blown out, and the hoof capsule is still in the position, and it makes like that.
Yeah, so, it's your old hoof capsule.
Yeah, that's what I'm understanding about that.
Yeah, you're right. The foot has expanded because of all the moisture. It released it because what allows that periople to work to bind that foot is when it's dry. Okay, and then when it gets moisture and it gets loose, then the foot, which is under tremendous pressure to want to burst out anyway, okay, because it's like you have a size 45 shoe on a size 50 foot. You know, isn't that your Euro sizes over there? Here it'd be like I have a size 5 shoe on a size 9 foot.
Okay.
You know, so the foot has been crammed in there, and all of a sudden there's a chance for escape. The periople guard has let its guard down and gotten weak, and the foot is busting out. Okay, like a jailbreak. All right.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Amazing.
But you still have the old small capsule on.
Yeah. But this picture, I mean, it just shows what's going on with all these abscesses. And if you would, I think, ask someone else, they would just say, oh, yeah, it happens. It just, it happens.
Yeah, there's no explanation.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, maybe it's diet. It's maybe diet, because everything's diet.
Oh, you stepped on a stone.
Soak his hay some more. Feed him some herbs. You know, I mean, see, that's the explanation that everyone has been giving. The excuse for every single thing is what they're eating, you know.
Yeah.
And it's not what they're eating. It's all structural and anatomical. You know, just like even now, you see how his cartilage is rounded, R-O-U-N-D. It's not supposed to be round. It's almost flat. See, it's and where it's pulled way down here, it's supposed to be way up here, you know, up higher.
I mean, yeah. No, it should be like, it should, yeah. I mean, we saw the one where it could be right way up here, and then more supportive to the outside and more straight and not this push forward. Yeah.
And soon we're going to learn to really recognize these things. And before we get off of here too, we'll take a look again at the different things that happen, because not only can it be pulled down like what you see here,
Yeah.
But you could have a straight wall all the way back to the end, but it's still wrong because instead it's been spun into the center. See, there's two different kinds of distortion that go on here. Yeah, they over trim the heels, pulls the whole back of the foot down. There's another kind where that foot refuses to be pulled down. And as the capsule's getting smaller, everything's being wrapped around into the center of the foot and pulled underneath.
Yeah, I'm dealing with this kind of at my stable. The hoofs are high, steep, and still not okay.
Yeah.
So that's really like it's not a club hoof, but they are just steep and small.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of trimmers are preparing them to wear shoes, but they don't have shoes on. So they come within like 15 minutes. They just take off the sole, take a little bit of the wall, and that's it. So they don't trim the heels out. The ones I saw with the horses at my barn, they left them way too long.
Yeah.
And that was was the other extreme.
Yeah, they're extreme.
Yeah. So that was it from Dodo's perspective.
Well, you guys have done great, and I know I can tell. I enjoyed listening because I could just tell you guys were looking at pictures and you're trimming and you're seeing stuff, and you're starting to really see, how important it is to look at these pictures, because you might look 30 times and then you look again and you see something totally different.
Yes, that happened. Yes, absolutely.
It happens all the time.
Yeah, hold on, I got a cough.
And I still recognized Simone. You need to go back, and I saw it imbalance. So
I need to what?
No, I saw an imbalance in the last trim. So we need to fix that one.
Oh, okay.
And I think it was because of the heel bulb was at one point it blew out on the left side, but the other one didn't follow. So the measurements, the heel wasn't the same. So now it's like a little bit tilted.
Yeah.
But now the heel bulbs are on the same heights, and then
Yeah, I think we're going to learn how to do this and how to release these feet and how to restore them. I mean, we're really doing something nobody has ever done, because you can't do something you don't even know is happening. Nobody knew that these feet were being bound up like Chinese geisha girls, and stuff, Chinese foot binding. And it is so much like that. And so we are pioneers on a new frontier here.
So my question would be, if someone is watching this and gets scared because of all this, blowouts, and what can we give as a recommendation, like to look after, or maybe to be that this does not happen, that it goes maybe slower, or
well, first of all, you'd see a horse that you already recognize this in and go starting to restore, because see, we thought of this too, that depending on how much the heels are trimmed out and how much hoof distortion you have, you do have to take it kind of slow. Like you wouldn't want to just come in there with a bunch of water and trim the whole frog down and periople to nothing, because then you're going to have the exact situation that you guys found yourself in with this horse, where his foot just blew out the back, because that foot wants to release anyway. So what we have to do is come in and gradually release it and gradually grow it at the same time. Of course, this, how to do that.
So do less and without water.
Yeah, because take Angeliki, from Greece. All right. She's got a mare. That mare was so foundered when she first got her and started her and everything. And that mare's feet were still never truly quite right. But when we started doing this whole frog thing, she went out there and she trimmed that frog up several times, got her in water a couple times. It's really dry there. Well, then she had to go to some island for a month. And so she couldn't mess with the horse at all. And when she came back, the horse's feet had already totally changed. But that horse, she had been restoring the heels on for quite a while. So maybe first we just get people to doing a normal trim. You know what I mean? And you have to do an evaluation, and then you have to come up with a plan. You know, my horse, as I said, I'd been restoring his heels for quite a while. So when I did this skill to release the cartilage, he already had enough hoof capsule that his foot could handle it, you see. So, but like on your horse, he didn't have much of a capsule at all. You know, small capsule, real compressed foot in there. Things
he
like
wants
that.
to go out, he told me.
Yeah.
Please change the way. He doesn't have, he doesn't go, was heißt Lahmen?
Lamina?
Lame.
Lame?
Yeah. He doesn't go lamb or show me something that he's hurting or something like that. But after we start trimming, he told me daily, okay, go on. I wanna grow with my hoofs again. And Sabine, look on your WhatsApp. I gave you a picture from Dodo. Maybe you can see Dodo, the bravest horse on the
I am. Yeah, we need to see the whole horse. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's so brave, and I love
Well, you're
him
so
much.
brave. You guys are so brave.
You don't know how many times I pee in my trousers.
Yeah, I don't blame
before
you.
Trimming.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, and I was luckily far away.
It's like having to fly the plane when the pilot dies.
Yeah, I have so many times I'm totally scared. I'm totally okay. I'm not brave anymore, but the next thought that I have or that I had was, okay, there's no other option. Go through it.
Yeah.
Fucking through it, because it's the right way. And there's no other option. So there's no way to go back to the other stuff.
Oh, look at that big boy.
No, what happened?
Oh, where'd he go?
I don't know. Just jumped. Where did the horse? Huh? I don't know what this was. I didn't touch anything. It wasn't me.
No.
Yeah.
It's yeah. And he's
There he
so.
is. Oh yeah, this guy's got to have big feet.
Yeah.
He's got to have big, strong, massive, big cartilages.
And imagine,
You know?
the small capsule on this horse. I mean, it's horrible to go back and watch the beginnings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness. You know,
And he's just doing that fast array on the front feet. The hind feet are more slowly, very more slowly, on the same direction, because I don't change to do the front or the back. I do one time or one day the front left, then the front right, then the back or the hind left, and then hind right, and it's he's standing in the same conditions. So I don't know why he, and the other two horses, I have two horses, another two. My mare had the best feet that I ever saw, and she's 29 right now, and she's trimming all her life by a very old farrier from the very old school.
Yeah.
And she has good heels. Yeah, a very good hoof in the end of the day. And my other horse, Angelo, the white one, he should be hoofs like that, and his hoofs was like that.
Yeah.
So totally in the other direction than Dodo has.
But it's good that you have, to choose, and that not everybody is just trying to get a better hoof. I mean, with 3 horses, that would be a lot of work. So
yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you guys are just awesome. Just a real blessing. Your horses are very lucky to have you. And everything we're all doing is going to help people down the line.
Or what is
Well,
possible.
you're going to do that because we're just going to fix a bunch of horses and then, you know, do an expose on this whole thing.